Welcome to Culture Screen, where we analyze culture through countdown. In Season 1, Episode 2, The Sopranos episode titled 46 Long was released Sunday, January 17th, 1999. It is the second episode of the series. It was directed by Dan Attias and written by David Chase. In the beginning, we see Christopher and Brendan have joined forces to hijack trucks. They end up spotting a comely truck driver. They stop the truck and hijack the shipment of DVD players. As the truck driver steps out of the truck, he asks Christopher and Brendan to strike him so that he isn't blamed for setting up the robbery. After taking the DVD players, Chris and Brendan run back to Tony at the Bada Bing Club. When they return to the Bada Bing, we can see that Tony does not like Brendan at all. He sees Brendan as a bad influence on Christopher. Tony also knows that Brendan uses methamphetamines. It turns out that the comely truck that they both robbed was paying protection money to Junior Soprano. This prompts Junior to request a sit down with the then boss, Jackie Aprile, and Tony Soprano. Here he complains to Jackie about the behavior that's causing him to, of course, lose money. In this scene, we also find out that Jackie is, in fact, suffering from cancer and is thinking about who the next boss will be. After Tony gets up and leaves the sit down, Junior continues to complain about how Tony treats his mother, Olivia, and when Tony finally meets up with Chris and Brendan at Satrielli's, Tony tells Chris about Junior's complaints about him. This prompts Christopher to tell Tony that he doesn't agree and that by now he should be a made member of the family. Tony replies by saying that the books are closed and that there's nothing that he can do about it. After this, Brendan ends up making an off-color comment on Jackie Aprile's situation. Brendan tells Tony that he is the one in charge because everyone knows Jackie Aprile is now also called in the streets Chemo Sabi due to his chemotherapy and cancer treatment. Tony does not find this funny and ends up kicking Brendan out of the door headfirst right over a pack of meat. In the end of this discussion, Tony ends up telling Christopher, Brendan's no longer in the room, that he will take the $15,000 and pay it to Junior for what damage they caused to him financially after robbing the comely trucks. Tony does not tell Chris that he takes $5,000 of the $15,000 for himself and will only give $10,000 to Junior. However, regardless of what Tony says, Brendan and Chris are back at it again and they plan yet another hijacking of a truck, this time carrying a shipment of suits. Last minute, Christopher decides not to go on the hijacking and Brendan goes on his own with two other members, Antoine and Special K. After Brendan, Antoine, and Special K reach the truck driver, they pull him over, threaten him, and while the truck driver is stepping out of the truck, Special K drops his firearm by accident. It goes off and kills the driver after the bullet ricochets and strikes the driver. The two associates run away and Brendan is left cursing and afraid of what will happen to him. Tony finds out yet again that Chris and his crew is doing this and he tells Chris and Brendan that they must return the truck to Comley and also pay back for any money lost. Of course, before doing so, Tony grabs a few of the suits for himself as he always does. AJ is not doing so well in science class and so Paulie and Puss are sent to find out who stole Anthony's science teacher's vehicle. After they finally find out who, they find the car has already been chopped into parts. This prompts them to steal another car of the same type off the streets. After they find one, they simply place the plates on the new car and repaint it so that it matches the original paint job AJ's science teacher had on it. After AJ's science teacher receives the replacement car, they are a bit confused as to why the paint is still wet. The key is also different. The plates are the same, however, and the interior color is completely different. We see by now that Tony was able to move his mother and her belongings to the nursing home, which Tony continues to call a retirement community. As Tony is packing away the final objects laying around, including some pictures, he begins to have nostalgic thoughts, sees a picture of a younger version of himself, and he begins to have a panic attack. However, he sits down and avoids a full pass out. He explains to Dr. Melfi during their next session that he did not pass out, just saw spots and a white flash. Dr. Melfi reminds him that this is a good thing. He is improving. He has gone from having a full faint or passing out to just having a mild panic attack. Tony tells Dr. Melfi that his own mother won't speak to him after making the move move to the retirement community. However, Dr. Melfi reminds him that that is in fact sad, but it is not his choice. It is her choice for not speaking to him, and that there really is nothing that he can do about that. Dr. Melfi brings up that it could be that Tony is actually feeling hate toward his mother. This prompts Tony to get up, he grows upset, and storms out of the office again. Dr. Melfi tells Tony to own the anger rather than displacing the anger on others. In the last scene, we see Tony doing the exact thing that Melfi said he would do if he didn't recognize and own the anger that he feels. Rather than recognizing it, Tony chooses to displace his anger on Georgie at the Bada Bing. Georgie is struggling to operate the new telephone system and doesn't know how to reach an operator or a recording, just like Olivia does in the beginning of the episode. Tony gets frustrated and ends up beating Georgie with the telephone, in the end showing just how accurate Dr. Melfi is in her treatment of Tony.
We upload new videos every week, so subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Click the notification bell to be notified of when we upload these videos. See you on the next episode of Culture Screen.